Welcome, everyone, to your ninth grade American history class. And for the next 6 weeks, you're going to get an opportunity to get credit for something that all of you have probably done, and that is making a difference. Someone has made a difference in your life, and also you've probably had a chance to make a difference in someone else's life, maybe a sibling or a parent or maybe even a friend. And while we're doing that, you're also going to get an opportunity to study a little bit about World War II historical figure of your choosing. Now, first of all, how are you going to do this? You're going to create a keynote presentation that's going to have multimedia elements. Maybe it's going to have pictures, maybe some video, maybe some things that you've actually drawn. Over an important figure during World War II who made a positive difference during the war that still benefits our world today. And maybe that's somebody like Dwight D. Eisenhower, who was the Allied commander. Or maybe it's a nurse that you read about who made a real difference in the lives of saving some of our American soldiers and even some of our allies, or maybe even some of our enemies. Or maybe it's African Americans who possibly, like you saw the movie on Red Tails, made a difference in giving blacks an opportunity to fly in the war themselves. And then you're going to compare that historical figure's contribution to your own life of making a difference in people's lives. Now, what information are we talking about? Well, first of all, you're going to start with reading a nonfiction or historical fiction novel about that historical figure. And you're going to include information from a primary source. Now, possibly the book you're reading is a primary source. Or you may need to look other places as well for quotes and statistics, maybe stories and different things about those people. And it might be someone that was a soldier, could be someone that was caught up in the Holocaust, or maybe even a pilot, someone that was over the war, but still got a different glimpse of it as well. Then what? Then you're going to take the opportunity to present your keynote to the rest of the class. And yes, that means you get to stand up in front of everyone and present your information about that historical figure. Oh yes, you don't have to, but you get to. Why do you get to do this? Well, number one, you're going to enhance your technical abilities and your technical skills when it comes to producing some multimedia type of event. So any kind of business and maybe even in your church group or anything else you might have to present someday. So this will enhance your technical skills to be able to produce that media. Number two, you're going to work on researching. You're going to research that figure, not only the book that you read, but also use the internet and our library and the resources they have, and learn to take that information and relate it to your own life as well. And of course, thirdly, and most importantly, you get to practice your communication skills. Not only creating the medium that you're going to share the information, but also be able to stand up in front of others and share that information in a way that will entertain and educate. Why? Well, number one, we want to make sure you understand how World War II still impacts our current events today. Take, for instance, Syria. The Middle East was affected a lot by the World War II because of the different colonies that a lot of the European nations had set up in those areas. And some of that still impacts a lot of the current events that are going on today, like Israel, which is right next door to Syria, who is part of that conflict as well, and Lebanon, and other areas around there that are impacted by the countries that controlled them before and during World War II. And there are also some of these countries' actual involvement in the war. Number two, you get to develop your information to share in front of a class. Now, obviously, it's probably the number one fear among most Americans, so why not practice it in a safe environment? And you're going to use your technology, but notice the technology is a tool. It's not the only thing you're using. You're going to present to a partner. You get a chance to present to a small group as practice, and then, of course, also to the entire class. And, of course, developing those research skills, learning to get onto the internet and find reliable sources, making sure that we have valid websites, and making sure that those websites information is correct, and learning to check them with other websites or even maybe our textbook or other things in the library as well. But developing those research skills, they are going to help you all the way through your life. And it's not about you. It's not about you and it's not about your character, but it's about both. Number one, to identify that character trait or action that your historical figure was exhibited all the way through the war, or maybe it's during a certain point of the war that still makes a difference in our world today. And then be able to take that information and share a personal story about how you also made a difference in someone's life through your examples or actions. And you might ask, well, maybe I haven't made a big difference in someone's life. Well, it's going to take you about 6 weeks to be able to read this book and prepare this research, and before you'll have to present. So it also gives you an opportunity to make a difference in someone's life.